Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome to week 13. I'm recording this a little bit earlier than I do normally. I have a couple of things I have to do in the morning, so I wanted to get this out pretty quickly. One thing I wanted to highlight in the course schedule, and it looks a little bit different because I have a Mac computer, so when you open it in Word, it might look a little bit better than this. The format's a little off, but we have week 13 that's going to open in, of course, today as soon as I'm done with this video. And at the same time, we have our final exam preparation, which includes a final exam review video that's going to be open. Of course, you need to complete that and make sure you're ready by the time the final exam opens. It's going to open around the 18th to the 19th and going to be due the 23rd by end of day. So I'm looking at the calendar here just to see what the 23rd is, trying to make sure I give you guys the right date. That's a Thursday. So the final exam will open on the 18th and be due, of course, on Thursday the 23rd by end of day. But you also, for this week, just a reminder, for week 13, you have to complete culture and communication and also prepare for the final exam. So I'm going to pop over to the course content and open that. I'm going to pause real quick. As you can tell, you have two sections for week 13, culture and communication and your final exam prep. Let's click on the first one here. You're going to have two lectures. One is just an introduction to chapter, of course, 6. And the next one is just a little bit more information about Chapter 6, Culture and Communication. So, there for a minute because there was a little error that popped up. But make sure you watch both of those things. And you also have a couple of different videos because this is a really important chapter. You know, this is something I only briefly touch on, so don't think that this is a conclusive lecture on this topic because it could take weeks to go over. So make sure you watch the extra, of course, videos that I added here. I think they're really, really important. And they go along really well with the chapter itself. So one chapter, of course, is not enough, but be sure to watch this and understand, you know, all the components of it as best you can. There will be some test questions on chapter 6, but from that perspective, I did want to add the homework that was normally due chapter 6 for this week is actually not going to be due. You don't have to do this homework. I'm actually going to delete it, and everybody's going to get 100 for this homework because we actually are doubled up in regards to final exam prep and for week 13. So no homework due this week. Just make sure you review the chapter and review the final exam video, which I'm going to share here in a minute, but no homework this week, and I'll highlight that in the announcement section. So hopefully that helps you guys out as you're preparing for the important final exam that will be coming up. All right, let's hop over to the announcement section and go back to the final exam review. I'll let you watch me as I navigate there. All right, week 13, final exam prep. I already have a video ready to go for the final exam prep. Of course, it's going to be aligned, of course, with the textbook. So be sure to watch this. It's about 8 minutes long. It tells you, of course, what you need to understand and know for the final exam. And you need to make sure that you take notes and are ready for when the final exam opens. Again, I'm going to open the final exam, which will be used via Lockdown Browser. It'll open a week from Saturday, the 11th. So it's going to open on the 18th and be due on the 23rd. But we have plenty of time to study and both go over Chapter 6. So the final exam review is open along with the week 13 material, including Chapter 6. So if you have any questions related to the final exam, just reach out to me. I'm happy to talk through them. But more information will come, of course, in another check-in video the day the final exam opens. So that's what's due this week. Make sure you understand and go over both both module sections for Chapter 6, Culture and Communication for week 13, and for the final exam prep, which will be due, of course, on the 23rd. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And again, no homework this week. I actually am going to delete it so everyone will get credit for it. Just make sure you prepare for the final exam coming up. All right. Thanks so much. You guys have a great weekend.